Let's talk about REGEN. So Energica, barely visible there, Energica and Zero have a totally different REGEN implementation. First of all, REGEN, what is it? When you have a combustion engine, if you cut the throttle, then depending on your engine configuration, it will slow down engine braking. That's how it's called, engine braking. And on the electric motorcycles, you have something very similar, but it's implemented in a way that the electric motor, in a very clever way, they can, if you are rolling down the street, they can cut the power to the motor, and then the motor is turned around by the wheels turning on the road. So you are generating power, and that power is put back into the battery. I have to say, those REGEN values, those are very little amounts of power compared to what it needs to get moving again. But over a complete charge, you can find a difference. Now, the implementation from Energica versus Zero is quite different. On the Zero, you have this mode button, and with that mode button, you can change the mode that the bike is in. So now it's in my own mode. If I would put it, I have to put it live to show you, but if I press this, then the mode indication will start blinking, and then by moving this to the side, like this, I can travel through the different mode options, like this, and I can change it. And depending on what mode is selected, you get more or less REGEN. So the REGEN is always linked to the mode that you're in. In sport mode, for instance, you have almost no REGEN. In eco mode, you get a lot of REGEN. Street is somewhere in between. So if you want to have a custom REGEN setting, then you have to make your own ride mode. And then in that ride mode, you can use the app to change whatever the REGEN is for that mode. So on Zero, you will always have to change the mode to get another REGEN configuration. Then also different for Zero. On the Zeros, you have REGEN. It's still live, so now it's off. So if I use this throttle and I stop using it, then what they call the neutral REGEN is activated. So then you start with that REGEN, and then the app, when you configure your custom ride mode, you have like two settings. You have the neutral REGEN, that's this thing if you stop the throttle, but then you also have another REGEN based on the switch that is used when you use the brake. There is a switch, and that switch normally is used to trigger the brake light, but what they did is they also act upon that switch to activate another level of REGEN, that's the brake REGEN, and you can configure them separately on Zero. That's something that doesn't exist on the Energicas. And personally, I do like this REGEN a lot more, because you can still use it, like if you press it very gently, now it's activated, but the physical brakes on the disc, the pads on the disc are not yet activated. So I can, with this switch, very specifically control REGEN and then pull on extra to get more of the actual, the disc braking system. The benefit of this versus this REGEN is that with this REGEN you don't get any form of brake engine light, while this also triggers the brake light. So that way it's a lot safer to use. On the Zero, you will always have to use the brakes to get to a full stop. On the Energicas, it's different. You can get to a full stop without using the brakes. On Zero's always need of brake system. Alright, and now quickly for the Energica. So the Energica is different. I'll quickly start it up to show you. It has this same button config. It also has this mode button that we will be using, but you have to activate the menu with this button here below. On the Zero, this button, I believe it's for the 4 warning lights, to activate the warning lights. And if I use that button, then the menu changes to this screen. And then you can see on this side, you have the riding modes, Eco, Urban, Rain and Sport. And on that side, you have all the REGEN modes, off, low, medium, high. And then to travel between them, you use this same mode button. If you move it that way to the left, then the things on the left of the screen change, so the Eco Urban Arrange Sports. If you move this button to the right, then the right elements change, so off, low, medium, high. I have it set on medium and urban most of the time, and then you have to press this button and close the throttle to confirm and change the settings. On the Energica, you always can pick the two separate from each other, so you can always change the regen mode without changing ride mode, or you can change the ride mode without changing anything of the regen. On the Zero it's different, that you have to change the ride mode to change the regen, and if you want to change the ride mode, the regen always changes with it. Also different on the Energica is that it's always on the throttle. It's never on the, it's a single setting, it's never on the brake, it's always on the throttle. It's not a big issue that it's always on the throttle, because even though you don't touch the brake light or the brake lever, the brake light will still be activated based on the regen. So it's safer than the Zero using just the throttle, because the Zero doesn't have the brake light activation on regen, while the Energica has. Plus also a big difference, on the Energica you can come to a full stop just by using this regen. I think it's implemented in a progressive way. The more you slow down, the more the regen kicks in, so you can actually just use it without the brakes as long as you have time. Of course, when you need to stop fast, or when you're on a racetrack or whatever, you'll always still need those brakes to be there. But if you have time, you anticipate on the traffic and so on, then you can ride just on throttle. That's the Energica implementation. I like for the Zero, I like that it's that's in two separate levels. For the Energica, I like that that you can change it without messing around with the ride mode, so that it's separate from the ride mode, and that the brake light is activated, and that you can come to a full stop just on regen. So that's it. Thanks for watching.